Hello everybody, my name is kittypaw, but you can call me Kitty for short, and today I'll be showing you a process of how I make turtles. So yeah, let's get right into it. Over here you can see that I'm sketching the concept of what it's going to be. I already did the designing beforehand, just like a loose sketch on my iPad, but yeah. I cut it out and then I put it on a piece of fur that I'll be cutting out later. Where you can see that I actually messed it up a little bit because, you gotta go with the fur pattern, which I forgot for a second. And then I cut them out. And then when the pieces have been cut, I get some thread and I start sewing the pieces together. Then, once I've sewn the body, I like to get started on the eyes. Since this is a bee-inspired one, I made yellow eyes with like a little gradient in the middle. It's definitely something I wasn't really used to, so I was definitely trying to figure out what really worked. But I think I ended up making them look pretty nice. This is also from a while ago, by the way. I made this a while back, but I remember recording it and maybe turning it into a video, which I'm doing right now actually. You'll see that I'm putting some foil down since I'm working with the clay, and well, if you look at my mat, you see that the clay has already like bit some of the paint on my board away, which is a bit sad. So ever since then, I started using some foil so that it doesn't, pull off all the print. I'm using my previous cutout sketch to measure how big the head is going to be. It makes it easier, and then I'm cutting it out to see where the eyes are going to fit. I like it nicer if it's a little bit in there, so that I can actually mold like some eyes around it. I don't know if any of this is making sense, but Then of course the bee, they're gonna have to have some little antennas, so that is on the head in case you're wondering. They're not horns, they're antennas. You'll see them also making the other body parts now. It takes a long time to do the clay thing. I actually got like a pasta roller, but I'm not sure how to utilize it properly. I've been using it on my clay, but I feel like it doesn't actually like really warm it up or anything. Maybe I'm just using old clay or not understanding it properly, but when it gets done faster by my hand, I think I'm doing something wrong. But yeah, if you have any tips on that, I would love to know, because I don't know how to use it properly. You'll also see me make some holes in the clay so I can put some thread into it later. This is so that the limbs are a little bit movable, and also slightly for aesthetic, because I like that it has sort of a dull look to it rather than just clay that's like stuck on there. I like the more dull threaded look. I'm also sure by now you've noticed that my cats come to say hi every now and then. They always meow too loud if I keep the door closed, so I make sure to let them in while I'm working. Now, this is where I start painting the body pieces. The base of the bee is white, so I always like to go over it with an extra coat of white. just to remove any of like the even like some dusty bits in there, or just discoloration. I like it when it's just, it's like spray painting something white, you know. It's a base. Not making any sense, but yeah, you'll also see that I tried to use some chalk to color the ears there, but I didn't really like how it looked, so I went over it with paint as well. I gave it like this speckly gradient look because I felt like it would fit the bee theme rather than it being a complete good gradient. Also, don't worry if you end up with some excess paint on the eyes. I always make sure to remove it later on once I'm done with like a toothpick or just something sharp but not sharp enough so that it, you know, it damages the eyeballs. You'll see that in a little bit, but yeah. Here I'm adding some of the chalk. I always feel like if I add it on last, it doesn't have the biggest effect, so I always have to use a lot of it. So keep that in mind. If you use it on just clay itself, I feel like it works very good. Use it on paint and suddenly, no, not so much. Then of course I finished the painting with varnish because you want the paint to stay on there. Now we come to the part where I hot glue the things that can't be sewn onto the body because, well, they can't be sewn on there. I'm also trimming away at the face a little bit so that it turns out a little bit more defined, if that makes sense, so that all the hairs won't be sticking in the face. Then I'm sewing all the parts that needs to be sewn on. I also always glue the feet a little bit because if I don't, then they're going to be spinning around. They get too loose, so I glue it a little bit so that they are still movable, but they don't like go a 360. Then I'm sewing the ears on there, which honestly, that was probably my favorite part of this. It's like a bee lamb inspired art doll. Don't know how I came up with it, I was just sketching away and it looked really cute, so that's why I made it. And the ears are just perfect. I love them, they're so floppy and good. I try to show it off to the camera sometimes, but you see that it doesn't really work out. Then you'll see me making some bows out of some lace because, I mean, it makes me look like a cute little guy, honestly. And that's it. That was all of it. He turned out so adorable. Honestly, I love it. I love the gradient eyes. I love the colors. I love the ears. The cute little stinger that I made for him on the back. Honestly, it's probably my favorite art doll that I made out of all the ones. So I'm happy I made the process video for this one. And I hope you guys like him too. And if you're interested in buying him, he is still available on my Etsy page, which is linked in the description below, if you're interested. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you would like to see more of the art dolls, then make sure to let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and bye!